Alright, YouTube, I know I said that I was going to try and stay away from politics for a little bit and whatnot, and which I'm planning on doing and whatnot. Like I said, I'm not going to I'm not going to make this channel, like, overly political, obviously, but when I see certain things in the news that I feel passionate about, I'm definitely going to come out here and talk about it and put it out there for you guys. So today in the news, I definitely wanted to uncover this story because this is something very close to my heart, and it's something that I did some research on. Last night, and I thought, oh, shit's about to go down. Looks like shit's not looking very good for Brazil's fascist, extreme right-wing authoritarian bigot of a president, Jair Bolsonaro. It looks like things are not going so well for him on the world stage right now. Things are even worse for him at home. He's being accused of crimes against humanity in Brazil, literally amongst his own government institutions and court system that wants to charge him, and also the International Criminal Court. And in Italy, where they're hosting the G20, where they were hosting the G20 summit back on October 30th and October 31st, which was like 4 or 5 days ago, Jair Bolsonaro was met with angry protests. He was met with protesters who are basically like, get the fuck out of our country. We don't fucking want your stupid ass here. And by the way, I don't blame those people, because I actually don't blame those people. I wouldn't want Jair Bolsonaro in this fucking country. And if I could personally, if, say, hypothetically, if that scumbag came to Massachusetts, I'd be out there protesting. I'd be saying, get the fuck out of here. We don't want your fucking Christian fundamentalist corrupt ass in our fucking area. Get lost. Fuck off. So yeah, we'd be saying the exact same thing. I'd be saying the exact same thing. And Bolsonaro had to have security guards with them. Well, the security agents were with him in Rome. And there are reports that the reporters were literally attacked by Bolsonaro's security agents. Yeah, so much for that tolerant right? Yeah, okay, yeah. So much for the right wing being tolerant, right? Okay. So this fucking moron is really getting what he deserves, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's hilarious to see that Jair Bolsonaro is fumbling on the world stage. He's more isolated now than ever, which is hilarious, but at the same time it pains me because I feel bad for the people of Brazil that have to deal with this fucking piece of shit, that have to literally deal with this fucking scumbag, this fucking corrupt asshole who is literally destroying their reputation on the world stage. Like, it literally pains me. It literally pains me. And there's literally people on Twitter that were reported saying, this is painful to watch. And when Bolsonaro was at the G20 summit, because Brazil is a part of the 20 biggest economies as part of that G20, but Bolsonaro cuts isolated figure in pictures and videos from G20 summit. So he basically wasn't even in the picture at the G20 summit representing all those leaders. Jair Bolsonaro was cut out from that picture. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you that Jair Bolsonaro is a shitty human being. He's a shitty human being, and he's a shitty human being, and he's a shitty leader for his country, and the G20 doesn't fucking want him there. They don't want him to be represented there. They don't want him within 10 feet of them. They don't want him within fucking 10 miles of them, for obvious reasons. Bolsonaro was isolated at the G20 summit because they're basically talking about how to fight climate change, and this guy is a fucking climate change denying asshole, much like his martyr fucking Donald Trump, the fucking guy who pulled out of the Paris Agreement, fucking scumbag. And then Bolsonaro's out there doing this shit. He basically is out there saying that, oh, climate change is a hoax and all that stuff. And Brazil was once a climate leader. They were once a climate leader, but now under this scumbag, he's just making it worse. And there was a United Nations climate conference in Glasgow, Scotland not too long ago, and Bolsonaro was fumbling on that. He was fumbling there. Brazil's fumbling and falling short. In Glasgow, falling short on the world stage. The G20 summit leaders were not talking to him. Like Bolsonaro was isolated at the G20 summit. They were barely even speaking to him. And the one leader that actually did speak to him, Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, I think her term is up, I think, later this year, or I think it might already be up already. But literally, she was the only one that kind of sort of talked to him for a little bit and tried to negotiate with him a little bit. Well, obviously for strategic reasons and whatnot. But then the fucking moron has the nerve to say, I'm not as bad as people say. No, fucker, you're worse than what people say. Just like when people say you're the Donald Trump of Brazil. No, you're fucking worse than Trump. You're fucking worse than him. You are literally Adolf Hitler that made it. You are the Brazilian Adolf Hitler that made it. Okay? And yes, I am calling Bolsonaro that because that's exactly what he is. He's butchering people. He's butchering the Amazon rainforest. He's literally undermining Brazil's democracy more and more by the day. And basically, people on the world stage are protesting against him. People on the world stage are protesting against him. They're isolating him. They're saying, fuck you, we don't want to deal with your dumb ass because you're a scumbag. There's no worth in even talking to you and keeping you around. There's no reason to talk to you. He's facing protests in Italy. He's facing isolation at the G20. It's like Jair Bolsonaro is not welcome anywhere. Like where the fuck is Bolsonaro welcome? Like, where would this guy be welcome in? He's not welcome in any sane country with a healthy democracy, a secular democracy that actually believes in democracy and human rights. Because Bolsonaro does not believe in human rights or democracy. He's a fucking tyrant. He's a fucking authoritarian bigot and a tyrant and a warmonger. And a climate change denying asshole. And these world leaders are coming out there basically saying, fuck you, get the fuck out of our face. We're not dealing with you. And Bolsonaro's trying to act tough and trying to act all like he's trying to go full Italian. And basically, people in Italy were protesting protesting against him, and rightfully so. I don't blame them. Who wants Bolsonaro in their country? Who wants Bolsonaro in their fucking country? Who wants this scumbag there? And how does he respond to the protesters? He responds to the protesters, and basically he goes full Trumpian rampage, which naturally scorned the media. Oh yeah, because he scorned the media, much like his fucking martyr. Quote, "It was God's will that I become president of Brazil," he said. "We are doing excellent work, which is certainly recognized by the people, but not by the mass media." Okay, you fucking dipshit. Your approval rating amongst Brazilians is literally in the low 20s. Your approval rating is rapidly deteriorating amongst your own people because your own people cannot stand you. Your own people cannot stand you. You literally have no grounds in reality. Okay? This is a leader, and I use the term leader loosely because this guy is not a fucking leader. This guy is not a leader. This guy is a fucking dictator. This guy is a fucking right-wing tyrant. This is what this guy is. And then everyone seems to want to focus on Venezuela and Cuba instead of focusing on this guy. Instead of focusing on this guy, they got to focus on Venezuela, socialist, Cuba, socialist, it was a real socialism. Instead of focusing on this guy, and focusing on the right-wing tyrant that Bolsonaro is, who is literally threatening global peace and security. Instead of focusing on that guy, all these politicians in our country want to focus on fucking Nicolas Maduro and Daniel Ortega in Nicaragua, and Cuba, and all these other places. It's like, oh, fucking, like, get the fuck out of here. It's ridiculous. And basically the protests that Bolsonaro was facing Oh yeah, by the way, Bolsonaro skipped the climate talks in Scotland to basically ruffle feathers in Italy, to basically piss people off in Italy, probably because people in Scotland ain't gonna deal with them. Let me just put a point blank period. This guy also got into an argument with Norway over the Amazon rainforest when he basically made slanderous comments about Norway, which I covered in a video like a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago. And he basically is out there. He goes to Italy, where he goes to Italy. He goes to a village in Italy, which is the town of the birthplace of his grandfather, which, by the way, Jair Bolsonaro's grandfather is probably rolling over in his grave, basically because his grandson is a fucking wretched pile of putrid dog shit. That's what Bolsonaro is. Says, I am moved to be here, and he's telling like a small crowd of like right-wing supporters or whatever. It's from here that my grandparents left. I am pleased to be surrounded by good people. Yeah, and then you're being outnumbered by a mass amount of protests that are protesting against your dumbass. Literally protesting against this guy. Demonstrators shouting fascist, misogynist, literally accusing him of being a dictator and butchering the Amazon rainforest, accusing him of all these things. So yeah, no, they don't like this guy. And for good reason. For good friggin' reason. So what, he's going to Italy to honor his grandfather? So he goes to Italy to honor his grandfather and then probably takes a shit on his fucking legacy because he's being met with all these protesters, and then basically is turning around to the protesters saying, I was put in by God. I was put in. I wasn't. Yeah, you weren't. Oh yeah, I was put in by God. I was put in by this. It's just like, you say to be a democratic leader, right? If you think you are a democratic leader of Brazilians, wouldn't you think you would say, I was put in by my own people? Which, by the way, your people can't even fucking stand you. So you try to say that? You know what you sound like? You sound like you sound like a religious extremist. You literally sound like you are a Christian extremist. You sound like the Christian Taliban. You sound like the Christian fucking Taliban. The Christian Al-Qaeda. That's what you sound like. Because if you try to sit there and say, God put me in, and all this other shit. And by the way, many of Italy's left-leaning parties call the decision to give this guy a standing ovation a disgrace and a shame for Italy. It is a shame. It is a shame. And the only people that invited this fucking scumbag over there were right-wing leaders in Italy as well. Like, well, maybe not leaders, but like other political figures in Italy that are right-wing as well. Because obviously those are the only people that would have anything to do with this guy. But they gotta know deep down that this guy's a fucking moron. He's a fucking moron. You're doing excellent work. You're not doing excellent work. You're not doing excellent work. You are trampling on the rights of your own people. You're destroying the Amazon rainforest. You are embarrassing Brazil on the world stage. You are responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of your own people who died because of your mismanagement of COVID-19. And so many more heinous things. Trampling on the rights of minorities. Trampling on the rights of indigenous people. Making bigoted comments about gay people, women, indigenous people, Haitians, just a variety of other people. And now, people are calling you out on your bullshit. The G20 doesn't want to deal with you. You skip you skip climate talks in Scotland because you're a climate change denying asshole, and probably those leaders over there probably wouldn't want to deal with your dumb ass, and for good reason. And then you're met with protests, so you decide to skip climate talks in Scotland to go over in Italy just to quote unquote honor your grandfather and probably shit on his legacy, and then you're met with protests, and then you turn around being like, I'm not as bad as people say, turning around to Angela Merkel, I'm not as bad as people say. You're worse than people say. You're worse than people say. You're a grotesque, disgusting piece of shit. You are a wretched pile of elephant shit. That's what you are, Bolsonaro. You are a fucking scumbag. You are a piece of shit. You are a piece of shit, and you are worse than the shit that I have flushed. You are worse than dog shit that I have stepped in the past. You're the scum of the earth. You are the scum of the freaking universe. Any person responsible for the deaths of over 500,000 people does not deserve to be in power. Someone who is responsible for destroying the literal lungs of the planet does not deserve to hold any kind of public office. Jair Bolsonaro is utterly incapable of leading a country. This guy is a bad person. He is a bad person. He is a wretched person. He's not just a bad leader. He's a bad person. He is an evil person. He is a wretched person. He is easily the worst leader in the world. He is literally the worst leader on the face of the planet right now. He is literally the most incompetent leader on the world stage. And it disgusts me that people like this are allowed to run. It's like, we fought against the fucking Nazis in World War II. Why aren't we fighting against these people? Oh yeah, why aren't we? Why aren't we fighting against these right-wing assholes? Why aren't we? We fought against the Nazis. Oh yeah, like we saw what the fucking Nazis did. We're seeing what Bolsonaro's doing. We're seeing what all these fascist leaders are doing. We're literally seeing all of it. Because remember, Brazil's democracy is still very young. Brazil was a right-wing dictatorship up until like the 1980s or 90s that was backed by the CIA. And by the way, as an American, it disgusts me. It does disgust me. Because our government is responsible for inciting coup d'etats throughout Latin America and South America throughout the years. Like I said before, we made Trump a one-term president. Thank God. But let's hope Brazil makes this guy a one-term president. Because if they don't, the damage that he's going to cause to Brazil is going to linger for multiple generations. Brazil cannot survive 8 years of this guy. If this guy gets in again in 2023, Brazil's democracy is pretty much... It's damaged for a long time. Like, the damage that Bolsonaro has caused to Brazil domestically and internationally, it's very long term, and it's going to take a long time to repair. It's going to take years to fix. It pains me, the next leader who has to clean up Bolsonaro's mess. And let's just hope that it's some person who is more moderate, more level-headed. Somebody who can bring Brazil back to where it was before. And I'm not saying that other leaders that Brazil had were really any good, because obviously Dilma Rousseff got impeached for corruption and all that, and her predecessor was just as bad. He was a neoliberal and all that. I'm not saying that. Let's just hope that Lula da Silva can get back in, or maybe one of his allies could get back in, or something like that, or maybe that they could elect a literal competent leader again. You know, we may have made Trump a one-term president, but the alternative we got wasn't really any good. I mean, yeah, Biden is mediocre at best, but really, in all honesty, he ain't no fucking prize. And who knows, maybe the leader that they're going to get next time around is probably not going to be any prize either. But I'm sure they'd be anything better than this guy. They'd be anything better than this guy. The next leader in Brazil might be the status quo, but I can fucking guarantee you they can't be any worse than this guy. They can't be any worse than this guy. This guy needs to be held accountable. These criminal proceedings that want to get him on crimes against humanity, I hope that they can do that. I hope that they can bring this guy to justice. I hope that they can bring this guy to justice. All of the protests, the international scorn and the domestic scorn that Bolsonaro's getting, the isolation that he's getting, it's completely deserved. It's completely deserved because it's great to see shitty leaders and shitty human beings get isolated like the fucking wretched scum that they are. It's great to see. It's great to see that Bolsonaro is isolated. It's great to see that he is alone and suffering this fucking loneliness because he deserves it. He deserves worse. Bolsonaro deserves fucking worse. I mean, I would argue that he deserves to be fucking shot in the side of the fucking head with a fucking firing squad and fucking shot 1,000,000 times over. This guy deserves to be fucking run over by an 18-wheeler covered in fucking hand grenades twice or 3 times or more for what he's fucking done. So yeah, I don't like the piece of shit. I fucking hate this guy. And it's people like this who kind of make me lean more leftward. It's like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Am I going to just sit back and take it? Am I just going to sit here and be like, oh, the tolerant right or whatever? Yeah, okay, Prager University, okay, fucking Rave Dubin. This is the guy that you want to defend. This is the guy you want to defend. This is the guy you want to defend. This is the tolerant right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the guy you want to defend. Rave Dubin, this is the guy you want to fucking defend. Okay? This is who you want to defend, you fucking dipshits. This is who you want to defend. Good luck. But let's just hope that Bolsonaro gets what he deserves in 2023. Let's hope he gets that, gets what he deserves. He's already slowly but surely getting what he deserves, but let's just hope he is made a one-term president and is held accountable for his actions, and his own people can restore their democracy and the peace and harmony that they deserve. Because people deserve to live in peace and harmony in their own country. And that's what the people of Brazil deserve. That's what people around the world deserve. Nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves to live under a fascist dictatorship. Nobody deserves this. The Rick Santorum without manners is on full display. He's in our own fucking hemisphere. This guy, I mean, people can say what they want about Venezuela and about Cuba. Of course they got problems. But I would take those leaders over this guy any day of the week. And like I said about being pushed leftward or whatever, yeah, I'm just center left. That's all I am. Obviously, I mean, duh, everyone knows that. I'm not trying to go off on that, or go off into another topic or tangent or whatever. Everyone knows that follows my channel. Everyone knows that's me. But when I say I get pushed leftward, it's just like I feel like I'm not going to support these fucking people. Like, no. You know, it's ridiculous. My thoughts are with the people of Brazil, and I hope that they can restore their democracy in 2023 and their peace, stability, and their sovereignty back in 2023, and hold this guy accountable for what he is. This guy is a monster. This guy is a piece of shit. Bolsonaro and every one of these right-wing dictators can get fucked. The only wall I want to build that fucking Trump wanted to build, I want to build a wall with Trump, Bolsonaro, and all these other fucking scumbags and just put them all fucking in there. Just put them all in there for the rest of fucking eternity, because that's where they all belong. Fuck every single one of them. Fuck these people. And fuck anyone who gives aid and comfort to them. Fucking piece of shit. So Bolsonaro, your days of being the fucking dictator of Brazil are limited. The days of being the right-wing tyrant, the fucking right-wing Ayatollah is limited. Your time is limited. Fuck yourself. Okay, anyway, I know I kind of went off on a tangent longer than I should have, and I apologize for that, but no, like, this guy literally makes me fucking, he just enrages me. People like this literally fucking enrage me because of how disgusting they are. This guy is a disgusting fucking piece of shit. And I just hope that I hope they can get this guy out, I really do. Like, I hope all the countries of the world get these pieces of shit out of power. One can only hope, fingers crossed, and one can only hope. But anyway, Zach the Celtics guy is going to wrap it up here before I go off on more tangents. I'll see you all again soon. I'll probably do a live stream later, actually, because I have today, tomorrow, and Friday off. Well, Friday's Steven's birthday. So probably not going to be around that day, and I have work Saturday and Sunday. So I'll try to stream tonight. I'll try to do some more videos later on this week. I'll see you all again in the next video and a whole bunch of other stuff in the works. Stay tuned to find out more videos on the way. I'll probably stream either tonight, if not tomorrow, but I'll definitely do that more soon. More video ideas and more content coming soon and coming your way. And I'll see you all again soon, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Bye for now. Peace out. And President Jair Bolsonaro, with all due respect, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. Have a good day, folks. See you later.